So the red carpet is out in Melbourne for the Queen today. She touched down in the city earlier this morning after a short flight from Canberra. In a bright pink outfit and hat, Her Majesty was greeted by equally bright sunshine. At the bottom of the plane steps, Her Majesty was met by Victorian Premier Ted Belling and then driven to her first stop. Let's go now to our live pictures from that first stop, the Royal Children's Hospital. Her Majesty is opening the new billion-dollar hospital and there are plenty of people waiting outside. In a very busy schedule, the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh are to visit Federation Square before hopping on a tram to go up St Kilda Road to Government House for a state reception. Now, the crowds are certainly out in force to see the royals. There's a party atmosphere in the city centre. We'll cross there live in just a moment to hear from some of the royal fans who've been waiting there for hours. We're also joined in the studio today by our royal expert, Jai Martinkovits. Thank you so much,
Pleasure
Jai,
to be
for
here.
joining us.
Thank you.
Much appreciated this afternoon. Who'll be with us throughout the program for his expert analysis. But first, let's cross to our reporter Hermione Kitson, who's at the Royal Children's Hospital for us now in Melbourne. Good afternoon, Hermione. Now, how was the Queen received there? Incredible atmosphere.
Good morning, Tash. Well, hundreds of excited royalists have gathered down here since early this morning to get a glimpse of Her Majesty and Prince Philip, and they weren't disappointed. This is the royal couple's first stop of their very whirlwind Melbourne tour of just 4 hours, and the weather sure has put on a perfect spring day. Now, the pair arrived just about 11:30 amid very tight security, and they were whisked away inside the hospital for the official opening ceremony. After proceedings take place, then the Queen will tour the new facility. She'll also meet with a dozen or so hand-chosen young patients and their families. So a very special day, of course, for them.
And Hermione, of course, this isn't the first time Her Majesty has been to this specific hospital.
No, that's right. The Queen actually opened this Royal Children's Hospital back in 1963, which is the Queen's second ever visit to Melbourne. Now, this, of course, though, is a very different hospital to the one back then. The $1 billion refurbishment has been 4 years in the making, and its concept really is quite unique. Some of its special features are a 2-storey aquarium and also a meerkat enclosure. So, Tash, while today's tour will be a fleeting one, Her Majesty is sure making the most of every minute she has here. Amid speculation, this visit could be her last.
Today isn't the first time the Queen has visited the Royal Children's. She opened the hospital on her second visit to Melbourne in 1963. Her Majesty has now been to Australia 16 times. Huge crowds greeted her and the Duke of Edinburgh on their inaugural tour in 1954.
Down into comfortable Melbourne, staid and prosperous, with its streets as wide and as long as memory.
The royal couple treated to the tennis at Kooyong before touring Flinders Street past the site that would become Federation Square. While Melbourne has changed a lot since then, the entrance to Government House hasn't. The Queen was again in the heart of the city in 1980.
But nothing could be more heartwarming than to be back again among a Melbourne crowd. I have much pleasure in declaring open Melbourne's City Square.
Steve Bracks was Premier when the Queen mixed with local sports stars over lunch in the year 2000.
I think she just wanted to relax, but she's got so much on, so, you know, it was a great thrill.
And her last visit also had a sporting theme, Her Majesty attending the opening of the 2006 Commonwealth Games. Emma O'Sullivan, 10 News.
Let's go now to some live pictures we have from Melbourne at the Royal Children's Hospital where the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh are paying a visit. Let's go to those pictures now if we can. Have we got those pictures? We have. This is the official opening. The Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh sitting there to officially open the hospital. That is the Premier, Victorian Premier Ted Belling. Let's have a quick listen.
Here and all of those past and present, including our Indigenous communities, whose love of our land, whose care of our country and whose passion for this place have provided our community with a legacy we treasure and nurture. Our state proudly bears the name of Her Majesty's most distinguished great-great-grandmother. This great institution proudly bears the title so generously bestowed upon it by Her Majesty nearly 60 years ago, and the current hospital proudly proclaims its opening by Her Majesty as patron nearly 50 years ago. For that great celebration in February 1963, Her Majesty was accompanied by the then Premier Henry Bolte and the then hospital president, Dame Elizabeth Murdoch, who in sweet symmetry also joins us here today. At that time, Her Majesty graciously described the hospital as a monument to Victorians' humanity and public spirit. I have no doubt it was, is still, and always will be. Over 140 years, every single person ever touched by this hospital, as patient, parent or professional, has carried an everlasting connecting thread. And those threads stretch across our state, our nation and the world, all of them fixed firmly here, to this symbol of all that is good and shared in our community, a place of care, of hope, of joy, of love and pride. This building, this new building, is a tribute to that tradition.
That is Victorian Premier Ted Baillieu there, speaking there at the official opening of the Royal Children's Hospital in Melbourne, with the Queen and Duke of Edinburgh, of course, as special guests. Well, the Queen and the Duke will soon be making their way to Melbourne's Federation Square. Our reporter Melanie Davies is among the royal well-wishers lining the street. Melanie, good afternoon. What is the atmosphere like there? The crowd behind you is incredible.
Yes, well, there's certainly an air of anticipation here at Federation Square, and there are thousands here in the centre of Melbourne, and the crowd is growing every minute. And Melbourne, well, it doesn't get much better than this. It's a beautiful day. There's barely a cloud in the sky, and that certainly helped people come along today. The only umbrellas we're seeing are to shelter people from this glorious sunshine. Now, many people have been here since early this morning to secure prime position right next to the barrier. Some we spoke to have come from all over Victoria, and we're here in their deck chairs at 5:30 this morning. We've been speaking to many people armed with flags and flowers. Let's take a listen to some of those who are very excited seeing the Queen.
I would love to see what she's wearing because I'm a bit of a fashionista myself. I'm very excited to see what colour she's wearing. We've made a beautiful poster to give to her.
Lovely. And what are you going to say to her when you meet her?
We'll probably just say what an honour it is to meet her and how excited we've been to meet her. Exciting, very exciting. Yeah, we've been here since like 7:30 in the morning, so we're hoping we see her close up.
Well, we came in about 5:30 this morning, got all dressed up. We've had a picnic, we've packed it up now, but coffee, tea, scones, muffins. Crockery. Yes, we've had the fine china out. So, yeah, it's been a really exciting day.
And why have you done all this?
It's a momentous occasion. You know, it'll be fantastic to even just get away from her.
Some very keen royal enthusiasts there, Melanie. Now, what's the Queen's tour of Federation Square actually involved today?
Well, initially she was due to arrive here at 12:25, but we've just been informed that she's running a few minutes late, 5 or 10 minutes or so, and there's a very long red carpet that runs for several hundred metres, and once she's done a tour of a gallery, she'll step out onto the red carpet to meet many royal enthusiasts, and she'll slowly make her way down here. Now, because of the way Federation Square has been designed, there are lots of good vantage points, so there'll be thousands here who will finally catch a glimpse of the Queen.
All right, thank you very much for the update. We'll cross back to you later. Melanie Davies joining us there from Melbourne's Federation Square.